This episode was absolutely insane. From dragon battle to political betrayal, shocking visions, and one of the biggest returns of this season. This episode had everything. It felt like the perfect setup for the next week's finale. So today I'm breaking down everything that happened in this episode and sharing my honest, unfiltered thoughts. There will be full spoilers from the episode, so if you haven't watched the episode yet, this is your warning. So with that said, let's jump right into it. The episode opens with Helena having another one of her prophetic dreams, but this time Rhaenyra woke her up and she was interrogating her, almost forcing her to reveal whether she has ever seen a future where Rhaenyra truly sits on the Iron Throne and rule peacefully. And honestly, guys, I think this scene shows how much Rhaenyra has changed. Earlier in the series, she always tried to avoid unnecessary violence, but now after becoming queen, we are slowly seeing the burden of the Iron Throne change her, and every episode she becomes a little more ruthless, and I think that's exactly what Alicent warned her about in the previous episode. The throne changes people, and Rhaenyra is no exception. Then we head to Harrenhal, where once again the Game of Thrones universe delivers one of the creepiest scene imaginable. In this scene, we saw Alicent and Aemond, mother and son, having an intimate moment, and that was creepy as hell. Even though later we found out that this was another hallucination from Alice Rivers, it was actually Alice River who was having a physical relationship with Aemond, but Aemond was hallucinating that it was Alicent, and even though it was a dream, it was creepy as hell. And right after that, the real Alicent arrives at Harrenhal, and Alice Rivers immediately warns Aemond that she has brought something dark with her, and she told Aemond not to trust his own mother. Back in King's Landing, Rhaenyra's small council is starting to crack. Torren Manderly openly confronts Rhaenyra because she publicly mentioned his name while listening to the complaints of the small folks in the previous episode. Now the entire city blames him for the kingdom's financial problems, and he realizes that he is basically become the perfect scapegoat, and that is what he is. Meanwhile, Daemon arrives in the Vale after discovering that Rhaena has flown away on Chief Stealer, but we found out she isn't running away. She is actually searching for Aemond and Vhagar, because if she can kill Vhagar and Aemond by herself, so she can ask for Rhaenyra's mercy. And when she was searching for Vhagar, Bella and Adam saw Chief Stealer, and they saw that there's a rider on Chief Stealer, and they immediately went back to King's Landing and they told Rhaenyra that Chief Stealer is out there and it has a rider. And Rhaenyra instantly assumed that Daemon has betrayed her again. Without wasting any seconds, she mounts on a Cyrex. Adam joins her on a Sea Smokes and they fly towards the Vale. And guys, when Daemon found Rhaena and then Rhaenyra and Adam arrived there on their dragons, the whole sequence was incredibly awesome. It was thrilling. Seeing Cyrex, Caraxes, Sea Smokes, and Chief Stealer in one confrontation had me holding my breath, literally. And for a moment, I genuinely thought that Cyrex was about to die. Chief Stealer is enormous and completely wild, but Seasmoke come in for rescue and it saves the Cyrex. And then Caraxes also joins the fight. And seeing the four dragon fighting, it was goosebumps. It was amazing. It was a thrill ride. It was at the edge of the seat situation. The battle was amazing. It shows us that no matter how many battles of human you will watch, the battle of dragons will be amazing in comparison to the whole war. And while we know that the Chief Stealer is huge, it is gigantic, and it is a wild dragon, but this episode tells us that Cyrex, Caraxes, and Sea Smokes are battle hardened dragons. They have fought wars before, and that is why they easily defeated Chief Stealer. And Chief Stealer was about to die, and it just ran away. It can't even fly, it just ran away. And in this whole intense situation, I found one thing very funny. I just realized that Rhaenyra was riding the smallest dragon among all four, and it made me laugh actually for a second. It was funny to realize that the queen of the seven kingdoms herself has the one of the smallest dragon. And in the end, thankfully, Rhaenyra rescues Rhaena, understand that Daemon wasn't betraying her at all. Instead, she realizes Daemon was simply protecting his daughter out of love, and she chooses not to punish Rhaena. That was really kind of her. I think that is one of the few good things that she has done in this season. Then there is Missaria. And honestly, guys, I still can't figure her out. Every episode makes me trust her a little less. Now let's talk about my favorite moment in this whole episode. Aegon. Aegon and Thailand are trying to escape toward Essos when House Mouton soldiers finally found them. Larry Strong, being Larry Strong, immediately abandoned them, but Aegon refuses to surrender. He refuses to bend the knee. And the speech he gives before facing certain death was honestly one of the favorite moments of this episode. And then the moment we have been all waiting for. Sunfire returns. Guys, the second Aegon shouted Dracarys, I got literally goosebumps. The whole Mouton army was burned down in seconds. And guys, honestly, this moment became my one of the favorite moments from this season. And I also loved the visual parallel between Aegon and Sunfire. Both of them are scarred, both of them are burned. They almost mirror each other now, and I think that it makes the bond between a dragon and its rider even more stronger. And I have to say one thing, this season has completely changed my opinion of Aegon. After everything he has been through, watching the suffering of the common people with his own eyes and actually accepting criticism instead of surrounding himself with yes men, his character development has been fantastic. Now back at Harrenhal, Alicent finally makes her move. She gives Aemond poisoned wine before quietly leaving Harrenhal. Aemond is barely able to stand and desperately turns to Alice River for help. But judging by her expression and reaction, I am honestly not convinced that she is going to save him. Then there is Helena's another vision in this episode. First, she sees herself giving birth to Maelor, and as soon as the Maelor was born, Queen's Guard of Rhaenyra snatched him away. Then she sees herself riding Dreamfire, and that is something that never happened in the books that I know. I have heard that Helena never wrote Dreamfire, and she is still haven't wrote the Dreamfire. This is her dream, but her dreams comes true. And finally, we got another vision connected to the Song of Ice and Fire. We saw Helena with her two children in a kind of a garden. She was playing with chickens, and then the whole sun goes down, and everything turns to dark, and then there was snow. It is another reminder that while the Targaryens are busy destroying each other, the real threat is still waiting in the north. And in the end, where the shock comes, where we saw Lord Armond is talking to Ulf the White outside the Tumbleton, and we found out that they were having multiple meetings every time Ulf is surveilling the Tumbleton. And in this meeting, he is promising Ulf that he will make him the Lord of Driftmark. And Ulf is agreeing to that, and he is going to switch sides in between the battle, and he is going to fight the exact dragon that he was supposed to fight beside, and that is going to be really brutal for the Team Black. And there's one thing that I have noted, and everyone would have noticed it, that Hugh Hammer was nowhere to be seen in this episode. We still don't know whether he is got captured in the Tumbleton, or he escaped in time. We don't know for sure. Overall, guys, I absolutely loved this episode. It had politics, amazing dragon action, huge character moments, fantastic development of Aegon, some really interesting setup for the finale. Now the Sunfire Citadel changes everything for the Team Green, and I still don't think that Aemond is dying just yet. This episode was just the perfect setup for the finale, which is going to come out next week. So now guys, it's your turn. What did you think about the episode 7? Did you guys enjoyed it as much as I did? And what are your predictions for the finale? Let me know in the comment box below, or if you can, write a small review about it, because I would love to know your thoughts about it. So guys, that's all in this video. I'll see you in the next one. Till then, take care.